All right, ladies and gents, welcome to today's video. I just want to dive right into it. Agency automation, this is a term that I've thrown around, and business automation is a term that many people throw around. I've had many mentors. I've spent over 6 figures on courses from different people who have reached heights of business success that are great. And business automation is a term that gets thrown around a lot, and I don't think it's ever clearly defined. So I want to give you the formula, my formula for agency automation. Super simple. I can make this video in less than 2 to 3 minutes. It's probably going to go above 5 minutes, but just watching this will be so important, because if you don't fully understand what agency automation or business automation really means and what the formula actually is, you're going to go through like life in general or just your business journey, and you're going to be optimizing for the wrong thing, and you're going to get the wrong results, and you're never going to reach where you want to go as quickly as you want to get there. So let's clearly define this better than I've ever seen ever online in a very simple formula that has about 3 variables. All right. So let's dive into the whiteboard here. Agency automation formula, guys, very simple. It is systems plus team minus you, and that's equals your agency automation. Now, let's break this down even further, because I can already feel people watching this like, what does it mean? What in the world is systems, etc., blah, blah, blah. Systems is very simply defined as, this definition came from actually Sam Ovens. One of the best things I've ever learned from him to a certain extent. Now, in a system, you have obviously processes, but you primarily have inputs, processes, outputs, feedback, and then you have environment. Okay, this is the sun. Okay, now this is how systems work. This is basically system thinkers. They kind of have this model in their minds. So the agency in itself, again, you can apply many different dimensions to this model, but the system is your agency. Your agency is a system. That's the highest level. The inputs of this system are basically clients, or you could consider it people that you've hired. You could do either one. For the purpose of this example, let's just do clients. Then you have processes. Now processes, this is where most people, when they think of agency automation, they think of, oh, I'm just going to automate all my processes. I'm going to use software. I'm going to hire a developer. I'm going to get the best processes in the world that are the most streamlined, and I'm going to use the best softwares. Well, who actually executes on the processes? It's a human. Even if you have a service that can be provided through a software, who built that software? It's a human. Who maintains that software? It's a human. Who talks to the clients to make sure that they stay with you for years? It's a human. Okay, who sells the clients? It's a human. There's no robot. So be clear that humans, your talent is a very important element in the process of automating your agency or automating your business. Okay, that comes to right here, team. And then once you have systems and team, you're always trying to make this so good so that you can get rid of 100% of you. Okay, so I'd say in Better AMS right now, I could probably get rid of 80% of myself. And obviously that would stunt the growth of Better AMS. I mean, if I'm giving it my all, which I am right now, actually just recently transitioned to about 50% of my time on Agency Enlighten, 50% of my time on Better AMS. But if I objectively think about it, if I really wanted to, I could probably step out 80%. Now, I think it would hurt our culture. I think it wouldn't be the best example of a great leader. I think it would do a lot of negative things. And I wouldn't want those things. I mean, it's always going to be better if you're all in on your company, because when you're all in, everyone else is all in. When you are a mirror of, you basically, whatever you want, you're a mirror of that. So if I was just working 2 hours a week, I mean, why would there be a team of people who would want to work 80 hours a week? That just wouldn't be the case. Okay, but if I'm working 72 hours a week on the agency, well, guaranteed everyone's going to be working a minimum of 40, I'd hope, if we've done a good job of vetting people and hiring great talent. So anyways, though, we won't get into a rabbit hole there. The point is that what you're always trying to do is constantly replace yourself. And I'd say, again, I could get it down to about 80%, 90%, although I don't think it would be, I don't think we're still at the stage where we're going to thrive as well as we would if I wasn't working in the agency. I mean, I think maybe once we get to like $1 million a month, there'll be a point where maybe I could just completely be at 0% for multiple years and the company would still grow. But we're still pretty much in our infancy, even though we're roughly around $100,000 per month. So you're minusing you, and you're trying to get this down to 0% all the time. Now that doesn't mean you're going to go and just live on the beach. It just means that if you so choose to go on a vacation for a week, you can completely remove yourself 100%. And there is nothing that you're needed for. Nothing. Okay. Like a big deal is on the table. You're not needed to close it. A crucial automation, a crucial software, a crucial process breaks down, you're not needed. One of your biggest clients is thinking of leaving you and they want to negotiate terms, you're not needed. Okay, this is the example of minusing you out of this equation. Okay, so we want to get you completely out of here. Now, team, this is more or less just making sure you have a great team, which the team element is what kind of minuses you out, and the systems element. That's why we add these two together, and then we minus you, and more or less we get agency automation, assuming you've done your best to build a great systems, great team, and fully subtract yourself. So the systems, coming back to this, you guys, inputs, let's just say clients, processes is how you get them, what you execute on to be able to get them results, and then outputs is actually results. And then you get feedback, and this, if the results aren't great, well, then you're probably going to either not sign clients like that, or you're going to have to change your processes, one of the two, right? Or maybe you have a terrible culture, which is your environment that your team is in, and your toxic culture is completely breaking down your processes. It's completely scaring away your clients, and so that's why your clients leave. Or maybe you have an amazing culture, you have great processes, you sign great ideal clients, and because of that, clients stay with you for years, and your culture, you've hired the right people, so that's great as well. And this system basically is just chugging along full speed, and it's essentially more or less a flywheel, and this flywheel is starting to turn faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on, as you hire more people, as you sign more clients, as you make your processes better, as you sign better clients, as you make your culture better, as you hire better people. So you can kind of see how this the flywheel starts to take over at a certain point. And I'd say we're starting to see the early stages of that flywheel right now. Very early stages, super early. I'd be really excited to see what it looks like in 5 years. Point is, ladies and gents, here's the formula. You got systems, you got team. Now team, obviously, you need to hire great people. You need to manage those people well. You need to care for them. You need to be able to be thinking about their emotions and etc. And have someone there that's dedicated to thinking about your people and the well-being of your people. That's not really my strength, personally. Fortunately, we have somebody in our agency who loves that side of the business. They have a strong affinity for people, management, which basically is the ability to help people become the greatest version of themselves and give them the tools and the feedback and the environment required to be able to achieve self-actualization. That's kind of how I see management. It's not micromanagement. It is just, again, more or less like kind of a coach, if you will. So that's the formula. Now, contrast to what most people think, again, just to reiterate on this one more time. Most people think that agency automation or business automation is you've completely removed the team, okay, and you have no humans. You don't have to deal with any humans. Again, this is a poor mindset. It's a poor definition of what it is. You can define it like that. That's totally fine. Let's all just realize that the language of English or any language is a collection of symbols with definitions attached to these symbols that is collectively agreed upon throughout humanity, throughout Earth, right? That's what language is, right? So somebody built this thing, somebody created the symbol of automation, which is a word. What is a word? It's a symbol. And how do we define that symbol? The definition of that symbol is very simply right here, and it basically means to use equipment automatically, and it basically removes humans, okay? So you can automatically build a car with machines instead of having to use a bunch of people. And you can automatically run this process instead of having somebody manually doing it, etc. So it's a poor definition of that word and what it means to have an automated business, because in actuality, that automation, it's going to break. And when it does break, or even worse, let's say it's just you and your agency. Okay, let me see. Let's take a screenshot of this, and then let's say it's just you in your agency. Now, this is so beautiful because most people don't realize the true nature of life. You have about, let's just say, 90 years on this planet. Now, I'm 23. So there's a statistic that says that after 60 years old, the likelihood of you being immobilized, I think is the word that they used, for 3 to 6 months is above 25%. So flip a coin, pretty much roll a 4-sided dice, and 1 in 4 shot that you're going to be in a hospital for 3 to 6 months, or you're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to talk to your clients. Okay. And so if you've defined the word business automation or agency automation, we'll just call this A. Okay. If you've defined this to be no humans, like that's just what it is, a business that runs without humans. And you can pretty much have the Tim Ferriss lifestyle of just working, like, let's just say like 2 hours a week, even better than 4. That's your input that's required. That's pretty damn good. It's almost near perfect automation because you don't have to spend much time. And you have no employees. Okay, you have no team. Fantastic. I know some people that have no employees. They're doing $40,000, $50,000 a month. And I don't think they really want to hire people or manage people. However, if you're thinking long term, if you're thinking big, if you're thinking about what is in your highest and best interest for the long term, the fact that you're probably going to be immobilized for 3 to 6 months after 60 years old, and there's a 25-40% chance of that happening. When you have no humans, when you have to work 2 hours a week and you have no team, what happens when something breaks and you need to work 10, 20 hours a week just for a couple weeks to fix that one thing? Because it doesn't just stay at 2 hours a week. Okay, let's be honest. Even if you've got a really good business model and you could choose to work 2 hours a week if you wanted to, sometimes things break and there's fires that happen. Now, when you get immobilized, if there's no one there to take over, this is a business model that has failed. And so it's not only failed you, but it's basically failed your family, your friends, your relatives, whoever you're providing for, it's failed them. So please, just think of agency automation or business automation in general as one that is, the formula is very simple. It's systems plus team minus you, and there you go. That's the formula. Okay, that's it. And don't ever think that you should exclude team, because again, at the end of the day, it's everyone's preference. Whatever you want to do. If you want to be a freelancer and you don't want to hire anybody and you want to make as much money as possible by yourself, that's fantastic. Go for it. Whatever. It's your preference. I don't think it's the best decision. I don't think it's the best decision for you. I don't think it's the best decision for your family. I don't think it's the best long-term decision. I think it's a short-term decision, and there's a lot of ego in that decision, and that's just my opinion on it. I stand pretty firmly on it, and I think that you should build a company that has a lot of talent. I don't want to say the word employees, because we're a highly autonomous agency, and most people, I would consider them almost self-employed owner mindset type people. However, if you have a company that employs a lot of people and it's a beautiful company that has beautiful systems and allows people to thrive and become the highest, best version of themselves, that's going to be a business that's going to give you the most fulfillment. All right, ladies and gents, that's my rant of the day on what agency automation truly is and the formula for it. There's only one thing I ask for you in return. It is that you hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell as well. And that's pretty much it. All these videos are dedicated to helping you build and achieve Agency Enlightened, which is a state in which your agency grows without you, although you would never want to not work inside of it because you're just having so much fun working inside of it. It's growing rapidly. Your team is amazing. You feel super blessed every morning to wake up and work in that company. And it's more or less a vehicle of self-actualization for yourself and for everybody inside of that company, including your clients. All right? That is a basic, simple definition of what it means to reach Agency Enlightened. Ladies and gents, thanks so much. Hit the sub button. Much love. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.